The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Guys, welcome back to probably a podcast. You're probably wondering why, one, I look so fucking fabulous, and two, where I'm at. But you don't have to wonder because I literally modeled my entire podcast studio off of this. You're like the Barbie pink version of what I wanted my podcast studio to be. So welcome to Probably Podcast, Kenzie Elizabeth.
First off, thank you for having me. Second, I'm really honored to hear that because I've talked about your podcast studio and how great it is so many times. I had no idea.
Oh my God, literally, look, I'll put it side by side. Yours, mine. I was like, so
Obsessed.
I'm thinking like, what do you call this? Like toily?
Twal, I say. But honestly, I was thinking that like I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, and I have said twal probably in every single meeting, every single thing. I have a custom twal made. I've had in the past year, and no one's stopping me.
No one's stopping you. You shouldn't be stopped. You know that I called this buccal for a while.
Boucle?
It's buccal.
Okay, same thing. And buccal sounds bad. Like, okay, you know what? Boucle sounds like you have a stick up your ass. Like,
buccal is the fat in your cheeks that people are getting removed. Bella Hadid.
Okay, but buccal AL, that's that, right?
No, I don't know.
This is LE.
But either way, it sounds cozy. The fat in your cheeks, little cozy couch.
Yeah, that's true. It would
sounds
make sense.
nice and squishy.
Yeah, buccal surgery.
Buccal fat surgery.
Is that what JC got? I think JC got that when she got her like chin done.
I don't think so. Because you want to keep the volume.
I'm
in your
pretty
face.
sure she did actually.
Really?
Everyone
Well, then
was
hers is slay.
I know, because everyone was like coming at that surgery, and I'm pretty sure that that's what JC got, and JC was like, no, it was good, and I'm like, I'm team JC.
Wait, I'm always team JC, but I also just think like if she got that done, then she's like slay of all slay queens, because some people get it done and it ain't slaying.
Also, this is like the third time I brought up JC in like 20 minutes.
I know, we're kind of obsessed.
Like kind of obsessed with her today. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to JC's baby. Like, I like JC.
Is it because you have another redhead here, so you just feel like she's here with you?
No, I feel like a little bit more connected to her being in the presence of another redhead.
Right.
So yes,
I need to meet her. I've never met her. I just love her from afar.
Oh my God.
Do you think she would like me?
Yes. Stop.
Okay.
Everyone would like you. You're the coolest girl ever.
Stop it.
JC is too. Like, you guys would just love each other.
Love. We're just talking like, you know what? I got a message that said, can you please properly introduce people? You never introduce people on your podcast, but sometimes when I'm actually friends with the guests and we're just like girly pops girling and just swirling around, then I just like forget that I need to do this proper thing. So let me properly introduce. This is Kenzie Elizabeth. I am the house guest here because she has an amazing podcast. If you have come to a live show before, then you have heard me reference her. We have to talk about that later on because I literally talk about her in every show that I had, and she's just amazing. She was the first real podcast that I kind of started like listening to when I started listening to podcasts. I came on your live show as a guest. You just have been really at the forefront of everything that I've tried to copy, quite literally, including your podcast studio. So
thank you.
You're my trailblazer. Kenzie Elizabeth.
Thank you. I mean, that's like really quite the honor.
You are.
By the way, you're my friends, everyone's favorite guest. Like at all the shows, like Presley and Tess, I think have been at every single one, and they were like, they just love you. They were like, she killed it. You know what? I just had a flashback to, like, not
your
to make this
friends
about
being
myself.
wild as fuck and me loving them for that.
Oh yeah, they are wild.
I love a wild friend.
I remember so vividly. I don't know if it was after the show or. No, it was probably before. I don't even know what point this was. But I remember where I was and I was texting and I'm like, Shannon, you literally have to do stand-up. Like, you really, really could do stand-up. Like, please do it. And you were saying like, no, I'm too scared. I'm too whatever. And now look at her.
Look at me now, you guys. Your friend said it too. I think it was Tess.
Probably.
We came backstage.
But I think I said it before the show. I don't know.
That was so nice. You said it backstage and I was like, and by the way, I wasn't like fishing for compliments. I really,
it was authentic.
When you want to do something so bad, but you're just like, there's no way I could ever do that. I'm so scared to do that. But like, what a dream. Like, that'd be so fun. So obviously this episode, we're recording it about 3 weeks in advance because guys, I'm so professional. I'm banking episodes lately. Like, look at me. What day is it? You don't know. Who is she? She's banking episodes. She's professional. I literally have my eyelids done. Let's make the timeline make sense. I'm gonna take these glasses off because why the fuck am I wearing sunglasses inside the house? I got my eyelids done. I'll have a whole solo podcast about that, so we don't have to like go too much into depth, but we will talk about the Dallas of it all because that is so funny.
Yes.
But no, so yeah, I really genuinely did not think I could do that, and then you said that, and it was just such a nice thing because I could tell you really meant it. But I was like, what a dream that I'll never accomplish.
You weren't lying.
I'll never accomplish that, but what a nice thing to say to someone.
No, I just, it was so apparent. It was like, you've got to do it.
Do you know what I bet it's like? This has never happened to me, but do you know when you're really pretty and someone probably looks at you and it's like, you should be a model. And the person's like, that's really nice, but like, I'm just pretty. Like, I couldn't be a model. I'm just pretty. I feel like that's how I must have felt when people are like, you should be a comedian. I'm like, wow, I mean, I know I'm funny, but like, I can't be a stand-up comedian. Like,
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've literally done 3 shows. I've done 3 shows with a stand-up routine. So, you know, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, but we're still claiming the title because I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
There you go.
There I am. Changed my fucking bio. That's what I'm doing.
I've gone on like 3 runs and you couldn't tell me I'm not running the New York Marathon.
one.
You know what I mean?
She is a runner. You're like Claudia running a 5K. She's a runner.
Literally, like I am an athlete. Not
She's
just
a runner.
Not
She's a
just a
track
runner.
star.
I'm an athlete. Like, yeah, no. If you do the one thing one time, just life is short. You know.
I just like titles. I like, people are like, don't put me in a box. I'm like, put me in all the boxes. I love a box.
Yeah.
I love a box. Give me a title. Give me a little like.
I'll be in all the
board.
boxes.
And I feel like in our industry, people are always like, so what do you do? And I'm like, I need more. I never know what to put on my tax return. I'm like, single female. Like, I don't know. It's really nice to have a label. I like labels.
At what point do you, like, when people ask you what you do you start saying you're a comedian? You're like 2 years ago.
Like literally from 7th grade. No, I haven't said it yet. I will say there was this like guy that was like being such a fucking toxic masculinity, like fucking annoying like dude, and we were at some bar and he was talking to me and Taylor were there and he was like, what do you do? And Taylor was like, she's a comedian. And instead of being like, no, I was like, yeah, so fucking what? What do you do? You're in finance. I make people laugh. What do? You make people fucking cry.
That's so true.
Yeah, but no, I don't say that yet. I never know. Me and Jackie had this conversation, Jackie O, because she was like, what do you say when people ask what you do? And I was like, I panic. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm always like marketing. Like, that is so weird. Like, I have a podcast. Like, I go on tour. Like, I do all these things, but I'm like, you really just not much. But like, what? I don't know.
It's my absolute least favorite question.
What do you say?
People asking me anything work related. So it just depends on the day, but my niece turned 9 like 2 weeks ago and she was over. I got her glam, went to Bad Bunny. It was like a whole thing, right?
Bad Bunny. You took your 9-year-old niece to Bad Bunny?
Yes, Bad Bunny is her #1 artist. Well, now it's Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny, but
wait,
she's
I
obsessed.
was just about to be like really not judgy, but just like no fucking way. And then I remember that like when I was 9, I was literally listening to I'm a slave for you. So like,
no,
what's Bad Bunny?
I actually quite literally was front row at Britney Spears when I was in kindergarten.
My mom, when they used to put the picture on the actual disc, the CD.
Yes.
And I remember I took like this. My dad took the CD out of the like whatever boombox, and he was like looking at the physical CD itself. And my dad's not a prude or anything. He's not like that. And he was like, Sharon K. Should we be letting her listen to this? And I was like, Dad, are you ruining my life? Like,
literally.
No, literally. What were we doing? So yeah, she's listening to Bad Bunny. She's honestly bilingual, and so good for her.
Well, she actually is.
Wow. Okay.
She actually does speak Spanish, but
Slay.
so that's why I think like also why she loves Bad Bunny. But she's just a genius. She's smarter than everyone. Anyways, the girl who was doing her hair asked me what I do. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, I just like, sometimes I'll say I have a home brand if I can't think of something off the top of my head.
Were you here when she asked this question? So when she walked in, she probably saw your studio. Like, I can't hide it.
Well,
if
no,
someone
it's
walks
not
into my
set
house.
up like this, though. I don't keep it like this.
Oh, it's just like an entryway. Oh,
yeah,
by the way, beautiful entryway.
Thank you. But I can't get around. Like, people are just like always curious. And so I was just like getting like vague questions, because if you give a vague question, a lot of the times they like get the hint that you don't want to talk about it, they want to ask you questions, whatever.
Smart.
And Sophie goes, no, actually. She goes, well, actually, she also is a YouTuber and she has a podcast and I was like,
Sophie is just so proud of her auntie. She loves you so much.
I was like, thanks, Soph. Yeah.
That's nice.
And they ask a billion questions.
I'll never tell an Uber driver what I do.
Yeah,
because Uber drivers ask. I don't mind talking to people about my profession. I love my profession. I love what I do. It's great. But like I'm not trying to be like, oh, woe is me. I do fucking Instagram, social media. Like, whoa. Like, I'm not trying to be that girl. But sometimes you are just like anyone. Like, sometimes a nurse doesn't want to talk about being a nurse. Like, sometimes you just don't want to talk about work. You know, you're just like, you want to like clock out. And you don't want to talk about it. And it is such an interesting profession. I feel like what you and I do, that there are usually a lot of questions. And so if an Uber driver asks me, I'm always like, marketing. My guy, I am in marketing.
My thing though is when it's girls who like get it, or like people who get it,
right?
They'll ask a lot of invasive questions that don't even pertain to me.
Invasive
First off,
questions.
I don't want to say influencer, like
because to us it means so many lovely things. To the people that have the right mindset, it means so many lovely things. To the outsider looking in, it literally means you like eat ice cream and just fucking sit on your ass
take a
and
selfie.
don't do anything or take selfies and like have a sex tape. They're like, an influencer, nice. I'm like, no, I swear I do more.
Do you think you would release a sex tape?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would if I needed to.
I was gonna say if times were bad enough.
If I needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you do it though? Would you like fake leak it of yourself? Yeah. Would you launch OnlyFans? Like,
no, I wouldn't do OnlyFans. I would fake leak it. I would like fake leak
Jay
it.
Alvarez?
Yeah. Dead.
You know what you do?
Oh my God.
You fake leak it, but you team up with the brand. You say, this is going to go viral. This is going to be crazy. You know how he did his like coconut lube or whatever? You work with something like Vaseline, like something crazy. And then, but it's like behind closed doors and their sales skyrocket.
Wow. Yeah, I was thinking more like you were about to say, like, you say like, oh, the sex tape was shot on Canon, and then Canon is like, it was shot on Canon.
Oh, that would be good too. Well, see, there's a lot of different avenues that you could go when
What
you're
did Jay
branding a
Alvarez
sex
do?
tape. You know, I actually didn't ever see it. I feel like I'm
If
so
you-
late on that one.
If you tell me there's a sex tape, I will watch it.
Well,
Like, I
yeah,
have to.
duh. I mean, but the fact that I didn't see that one was
And
kinda
I know
crazy.
as a female, I should be like ones that actually do leak. Like, oh my God, I felt so bad. Oh, did you watch the Pam and Tommy documentary? And
Yeah, I did watch the doc. It was horrible.
Wow.
Well, not only that, I'm her like number one fan. Like her garden show on Hulu, like
amazing. No,
so good.
I could not be a bigger stan of Pamela Anderson after Butcher Box. Well, I'm literally about to do an ad for them too. I love Butcher Box.
Oh my God,
What do you order? Their chicken or their beef?
Oh, all of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
I don't do their pork very often, but I want to dabble.
Oh, I have their pork too.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow, great.
great.
Always plug. Use
I-
code probably Shannon.
By the way, I don't even work with Butcher Box, so Butcher Box, please work.
Oh my God, work with Kenzie Elizabeth. She's
Yeah.
literally such a fan. You just got delivered to her house. So
That was
convenient.
actually as organic as it gets.
Yeah, that's us being influencers.
Yeah, it's very authentic.
Okay, so yeah, biggest stan of the world of Pamela Anderson after that doc. Like before, I would have just thought what everyone else thought. Like, oh yeah, like whatever. They did such a good job. It was produced by her son.
Yeah.
Or I mean, wow. Like, could not have been a better documentary. Loved it. I fall in love with her. I feel so bad for even just viewing. And I don't even know when I watched the sex tape of Pam and Tommy. Like, I knew it was quote unquote leaked, but like, that's what I thought. I thought it was quote unquote leaked. And I also just like thought that like Pamela Anderson did Playboy. She did nudes. Like, I didn't realize like all the reasonings behind her doing it was like to get her power back, to like people sexualize her whole life. So why not like lean in? Like all of these things I didn't know about her. And I did not realize that she's actually really like, she's like low-key super private. Like
Yeah.
did not like when she didn't make a dime off that sex tape. And whenever someone said like, if you'll be a part of this, we'll pay you for it. And she was like, no. And so like it was then leaked or whatever the thing is, like she's still, you can tell it like really, really affects her. And I think I could be wrong. Don't fact check me or do, but I'm pretty sure she said she's like never seen it because it's so traumatizing to her that it was like her private moment with her husband that she clearly, by the way, like loves so much still. That was so awkward. And then like her Tommy Lee's like married to that Britney girl. And I mean, like that must have been so hard for Britney because like the whole like general public, myself included, is like, get back together, Pam and Tommy.
Yeah.
And then like, she's probably like, okay, that's literally my fucking husband. Like,
No, honestly, I mean, that doc made me want her to never be with him ever again. Though.
yeah,
You know, it
you're
was
right.
oh my
You're so right.
God.
God, I'm toxic.
But she, I feel like, is one of those people. First off, she just seems absolutely amazing. Like,
Couldn't agree more.
oh my God, like, what a star, what a genuine, really good person. But I think that's the issue. I think she's a really, really,
Too
really
good.
good person. And it seems like, to me, it was more of her loving him because he gave her kids and he like one of those things and that connection.
And you're so right. And it's like he was so obsessed with her in like kind of a toxic way, but like
they
it was
were very toxic.
it's just so crazy. Like when he came on the set of Baywatch, guys, just watch the documentary. I'm just like saying, the whole
yeah,
thing.
we're actually
It's
just doing like a
recap of the Pam and Tommy doc that came out like years ago, but
Yeah.
it's just really good. You should watch it. It really made me view her in a different light. So like, anyways, I watch every sex tape that ever comes out because like I'm just curious. Like when I found out there was a night in Paris, I was like, okay, fine, sorry. Like I'm sorry it leaked, but also like I don't know if Paris made money for her. I'm sure she didn't. I'm sure she's also a nice person, but like I'm just curious. So I haven't seen
You're
it.
looking for lighting, you're looking for tips,
Just like
you're looking
interested. I'm just
Yeah.
like, what's her like? She's famous. She's got all the guys. Like, what's her tricks? What's her tips? What can I be doing better in my life?
Totally. It's like a tutorial.
So it's literally a
Yeah.
YouTube tutorial.
Yeah.
But I didn't see Jay Alvarez's. Who was it with?
I actually
Just
have
a
no
random
idea.
girl?
It was one of those things that sometimes when everyone's talking about something, I just
You're not
completely
interested?
Well, no, it's not even no, I'm very up to date. One thing about me, like I will consume content. Like I
I'm a
will stay up to
consumer.
date. But when everyone's talking about it, I like forget that I never watched it. And then I just will never watch it because I feel like I know everything about it.
Yeah.
All I know is that there was I think he just used coconut oil as lube. I'm pretty sure is what it was.
Oh my God. So you think it was like a brand?
No, I don't think it was, but I'm just saying I see a lot of opportunities in the sex tape world.
Right.
And landscape. And you know what? They can do some backdoor deals. I think, listen, you get
Backdoor deals.
Let's say Vaseline as like some
I literally also, by the way, I just tried to wink. I cannot close this eye fully yet.
She's been trying all day. It's not really working.
I'm such a winker. I never really realized.
But I think there's a lot of opportunity. The camera, the lighting, it could be a Brooklinen ad.
Brooklinen. Brooklinen. Let's do a
Genius.
sex tape.
Seriously.
Yeah. Okay. I have been on the go, baby, in Littleton.
I simply just have not had the time to cook. I mean, I love cooking whenever it's like a fun experience, but when you just need to literally eat to survive, which is what I've been, going through lately, then I just need something faster, okay? And I'm also just the girl who doesn't have time but insists that she eats amazingly delicious food that tastes homemade. So I have been using Factor to get fresh and never frozen, ready to eat meals delivered right to my door. And I mean, legit, in less than 2 minutes, they're heated up, ready to devour, and so delicious. And here's the thing. Honestly, no matter what your lifestyle is, Factor has the meals to help you live it to the fullest. They've got keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and for bulking season, baby, Factor also has protein plus meals on the menu each week. And those are James' favorites, obviously. So these meals are prepared by chefs and approved by dietitians. Now, each meal has all of the ingredients that you need to feel satisfied all day long because you're eating good, clean, healthy food. You genuinely feel fuller for longer, which I love. So it kind of prevents me from like snacking on bad junk food. So not only is Factor cheaper than takeout from restaurants, it's restaurant quality. And one of my favorite things about Factor's chef prepared meals is that they actually know who the chef is that made the meal. So there's like a little photo and a little bio on them on the packaging. It's so cute, so cool. It makes you feel like the chef just came over to your house to make it. And they've got great add-ons for snacks, like quick little bites, smoothies, juices, so much more. I'm obsessed with Factor. I always have been. You can add protein to a vegan or veggie dish if you want to switch it up. I love doing that because these vegans, they're getting all the yummy dishes, but I want to add a little bit of meat to it. So you can do that. The options are truly endless. Factor is just making it so easy to eat in and eat clean for less. Also, they have some seriously good breakfast options. So if you're rushing in the morning and need good food fast, you can turn to Factor. And y'all already know that I hooked it up with a discount code for you guys. If you head to factormeals.com/probably50 and use code probably50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code probably50 at factormeals.com/probably50 to get 50% off your first box.
I'm saying.
I've also just like never filmed myself having sex ever anyways. So maybe it would just be like a tragic thing that I would never want to rewatch. You always think you're sexier than you probably are in HD.
That's so real. By the way, I would actually have no interest in that ever.
Yeah, by the way,
I'm thinking about it.
By the way, never mind.
Actually, I take that back.
I don't want to do a sex tape at all. Like the way I just like could just be simply laying out by the pool. I was laying out by the pool earlier, and I literally was like, I had shaved my body into like a baby dolphin before I laid out the pool, and there was the most rogue, long, giant ginger hair coming out like the inner thigh of my leg that I don't even think I grow pubic hair on, and I was like, what the fuck is that? So like, knowing that there would be like an angle of my body contorted in a way with like light, like, yeah, for me, it's like no, never mind.
I applaud people who can do that though. Like that's just,
yeah, but that's
can't
why,
be me.
That's why also, I feel like James talks about this too. He says like the porn industry gives such unrealistic standards to women.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
by the way, not my fiance, like being
He's
such
actually,
a king.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting? He's the only guy I've seen come out against porn that like isn't like a Christian like guy.
Yeah, no, he is like,
I remember being like, yeah, that makes sense.
And I didn't get it either because I was always the girl that's like, yeah, like porn's fine, like porn's fine, I'll watch it with you, like trying to be like the cool girl, trying to be the whatever. And when he said he didn't watch it, I was like immediately like, oh, that's nice, because I knew he wasn't being like a super heavy Christian background about it. But I was like, yeah, that's fine. But
it's just so rare that a guy gets to that point though if they're not Christian, is what I'm saying. Like,
but he also did say he wasn't like addicted to porn, but he did say he's like, I used to consume it so much. It's not like he's always thought it was yucky, and he was like,
I mean, totally.
He was like, I just realized one day that this is like so fucked. And then like when he really talks about it, like dating someone that has this view is like so attractive, because he's like, that's not the female body, that's not realistic, these are like unrealistic standards for women, like it's unrealistic standards for sex, like people's vaginas don't look like, people's like bodies don't look like that, that's not how people have sex, women don't moan like that, men don't do that. And I'm like, okay, slay king. Like I also yucky porn, hate it, like
yeah, no,
you
realize, it's like, well, I'm glad we could get that out there.
Well, you're right. So it's crazy. You can't you not watch it in Texas? You can't search it.
I think they did some sort of ban where you have to show your ID or something. Like you have to be of a certain age, but I don't know if that.
Imagine being so horny and like going to look at porn and then you had to upload your ID. I'd be like, okay, well, never mind.
Yeah, no. And honestly, that
is probably deterring people.
That actually probably is like killing their views.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. I think actually, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna do this really quick. I'm just actually really curious while we're in Texas. I'm gonna try to go to a porn website and just see what comes up. Because
sex tapes, porn. Did it do it?
Dear user, as you may know, your elected officials in Texas are requiring us to verify your age before allowing you access to our website. Not only does this impinge on the rights of adults to access protected speech, I mean, they're basically like, fuck off Texas, but I think let's protect the kids. So I get it.
No, I was gonna say that's good because you have to be 18. That's just child.
That's just like protecting the children. But I do think like I'm obviously not, James and I aren't on some like stance where we're like, if you watch porn, you're sick in the head. Like it's just like our preference to like not watch it and like, you know, whatever. But I do think that's funny because I bet people are like, by the time you have to upload your ID, like I'm just like not in the mood anymore. Like I just had to fucking scan a barcode. Like,
no,
okay.
it completely kills the mood and it's over.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's over.
Well, that's funny. Where were we? So I need to talk to you guys about your brand, House Guest, which
friend of mine,
House Guest, friend of mine. But I wanted to talk about like your essence in general. Is that because you are what they call the hostess with the mostest, but like actually. Like literally making a brand out of it. And I got a lot of questions. I mean, we would just talk about it anyways, but genuinely people, and I think these are good because these could be like quick little easy ways for people that feel overwhelmed by hosting. You and I both grew up in the South.
Yes.
I feel like we Southern girlies.
And we're very Southern. The
Country
older I
mouse.
get, the more Southern I realize I am.
The more I'm leaning into it, the more
yes, that's true.
I think I don't have a super Southern accent, and I moved to, it's still the South. Like I moved to Nashville, but people found it like anytime I'd be in New York, people were like a little shocked to find out that I was Southern. I lived in DC for like a tiny bit, and people would always be like, "You're from South Carolina," and I'm like, not only am I from South Carolina, I am from the like literal BF fucking E, dude. Like bumfuck Egypt. Like we are literally from the sticks. Like that is where I'm from. I could go on and on, but if you guys listen to this podcast, you know that I be redneck, okay? But it's just crazy because I was raised by just a woman who like, now I think back and I like laugh at some of the like dishes. Like my mom's like born and raised in Louisiana, so like there are some things that she does that I'm like, that's a fucking whack, mom. But like that's like such a cultural thing, like a dessert of like canned pears with a dollop of mayonnaise in it and then shredded cheese on top and baked.
Yep.
And like I know that sounds like a fear factor, but it's actually like a dessert and then you put a cherry on top.
Is it good?
As a kid, there just weren't many options. I would prefer to cosmic brownie, but like no, like it's not bad.
Okay.
It's just weird shit that was like a delicacy, but like now I look back, I'm like, that is some redneck shit. Like canned pears with fucking mayonnaise and cherries on top. That's fucking nasty. But it's just one of those things that you realize where you came from, and I used to like kind of not stray away from it a little bit, but kind of just be like, I have more to offer than that side of me. And now I lean in so hard. It makes me feel so comforted, and it makes me feel so like filled with purpose, and like I just love it. I did
the exact same thing with being from Texas. Like,
because you lived in LA for a little bit.
Yeah, I moved out when I was 17. I moved to LA from 17 to 22, and I was like, no, I wanted to like live everywhere else. I wanted to do all these things.
Right.
And then I realized like, no, my dad told me this. He's like, you'll want to move back one day. He's like, I promise you. He's like, I've lived everywhere. You'll want to be back here. Like, I promise you.
What part of Texas are you from?
I'm from like 40 minutes north of here. Okay. So I like all my family lives here, but I was living in LA. I thought I liked it when I was there, and then I like look back and I actually hated it, but I moved out young, so I was like, no, like this is awesome, you know? Like
any time you move away from home, you could have moved to fucking Nebraska. No shade in Nebraska, but you would have been like, I love it. It's away from home. You know, it's just fun.
Totally.
It's new. It's exciting.
Totally. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'm not like super Texan. I'm not super Southern, whatever. And then it's so crazy.
You're so Texan.
No, I'm so Texan. I have a Texas tattoo now. I'm Kenzie the
Where?
Texan on TikTok. Like it's right here. It was honestly crazy story. It was a guy that I was like hooking up with who was like staying at our house for like an extended period of time, and he just like gave me a tattoo. It's actually crazy that I did
not
that,
you literally being in jail. Like that is the most like
no, like what
your grifter boyfriend gave you a tat. Like he was
literally
couch
okay,
surfing.
boyfriend pushing it.
He's giving grifter
We were in the
energy.
same friend group, and what his best friend was living at my place at that point. So it was like through that there was like 4 people living at this house. Like my cousin was living with us. It wasn't just like me and Mike.
It wasn't just a grifter that you like thought was hot.
No, and like he shouldn't have been living there. By the way,
No.
he really should not have been there. Like that ended up being an issue down the line. But like it was a house of like 4 people.
Well, that just kind of sounds fun.
So it was a little different. Yeah, no, it was like a really wild time. Anyway, so yeah,
I knew girl.
Yeah, I know. I was literally living New Girl actually because it was like boys that I was living with.
Yeah.
But it was like yeah.
Also dead that boys were just living in this gorgeous girly house. And
Well,
you're just
not
like,
this house.
Oh, it was a different house.
No, it was my house in LA. It was when I was in college.
Oh.
I would never do that now.
Oh my god, that is giving new girl for sure.
No, it was fully New Girl. I was living with boys. Like one of them being my cousin, but still.
So you got a Texas tattoo when you were in LA.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, then I just realized like I'm a Texas girl. I love Texas, and now I lean into it as much as possible, and I feel the same way. I love it. It gives me purpose. I love the values. I love everything about it.
I think you just had to get tatted to understand.
Totally. I had to just get tatted by a guy that I was hooking up with to understand that I love Texas.
Well, I'm leaning into my Southern roots, and I just need you to talk about hosting because a lot of people ask this, and I feel like you and I have like understood this later on in life, how hosting is just really important to me. And then you realize how much people appreciate it because now that James and I live in our house, we love having people over because we finally have this space for it. Like, and we're also just like begging people to come because we live in Franklin now, which is like a little bit further outside of Nashville. So we're like, come, stay, hang out, like whatever. And it's really important to me that people like leave there feeling like they were hosted. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That they've like the tiny little things that like matter, just going the extra mile, just things that my mom always does. Even still, like I come home and it's my home, right? Like my childhood bedroom's not my childhood bedroom anymore, thank God, because that lime green color was fucking tragic.
Oh, I had one of those too.
But like it's still like me coming home, right, to my childhood home. But my parents still act like we're like visiting a hotel. It's just like
My parents don't do that, but that's really sweet of them.
they like put little like things in the bed, and it's just like so nice, and it's always just like so perfect. And I just like love giving people that feeling like they're home, but like in a place. So anyways, people were asking things like, so what are your like best hosting tips for someone that's just starting out? Maybe someone that just moved into a house, or maybe someone that doesn't have a ton of space, but they just like want people to feel like when they're there, they're home for like a dinner party or for a little like weekend staycation. Like what are some easy ways to get into hosting? What are some things they could buy, or what are some things that they could just like implement into their lives?
Okay, I think themes are really good and a really easy way to do it.
Cute.
And a theme makes everyone else lean in. Like you need people to get involved and get invested. And it's nice because it's an easier way. If you're doing a dinner party, like I'm queen of like doing it all myself. And I've only now recently realized like I heard it somewhere that if you're hosting a dinner party, you yourself should not cook more than 2 dishes. Because by the time they
entertain.
Yeah, and like it's a whole week-long ordeal when I'm doing a dinner party because I set the table like on Sunday night. I have everything because I'm obviously like doing things during the week. So I have like it down to a schedule, but I cook all the food. But now it's like, all right, my friends need to be cooking and bringing things, or I can cater or something, you know.
But also like if you're hosting, it is nice when people like bring things or help or
Yes.
come and help cook. And especially if it's a dinner party with your actual friends, like no one minds doing that.
Yeah, it needs to be, and hosting gifts are also good. I never care about myself, but like you're actually the best about that. Like you literally even walked in today and I was like, oh my God, like
Sharon K, I was honestly running late for this, and I like was like on the phone with my mom, and I was like, I gotta stop by and get this bottle of Costco. She was like, well, you didn't get it before? Like my mom was like upset with me.
But like you would never need to do that. Like that was just like to be nice. We're recording a podcast.
No one
like,
needs to do that, but that's just to give someone a gift that's like hosting in general. It's just a nice thing to do. And honestly, like guys, this podcast was very last minute. I literally have stitches all in my eyes. I was like, can we come podcast? She's like, Slay Queen, yes, I just did a whole
perfect,
house
of
tour
course.
today, but like sure, come.
Anything for you, Shannon. Also, side note, I texted Shannon this morning. I did a home tour for Homeworthy, so that's why I'm kind of brain dead right now. Like I'm coming back to life.
You're not brain dead. I think you're doing a great job.
A little
sweetie.
bit. Like my energy's a little low. I'm getting a little subconscious. I'm just kidding. But I texted Shannon. I was like, no, I'm full like Southern Shannon right now. Like I just hid my toothbrushes. Like I don't want anyone to know that I live here. I don't want anyone to know that I'm here. This, for all intents and purposes, like this is like a staged home, and my realtor is taking you through this tour.
She goes, I want people to think this house is for sale.
Literally.
You came to tour this house and you can buy it tomorrow if you'd like.
Literally.
Yeah,
they give me an offer after when they leave.
100%. She's like proof of life 0. Level of cleanliness, IKEA display. That's what we need.
Literally.
I get it. I mean, you're having your house filmed, which we'll talk about that later. But like that's real. That should not just the in-laws coming over. That's like real serious stuff.
Film. Feels very permanent. But I would say for dinner parties, I have an entire like excessive hosting closet. But out of that, the thing that I use the most are my just normal white plates from at home. So I have like a specific thing for hosting that's just easier that I can bring out. That's like so unnecessary. But if you care to host and do something a little extra, like having a set that's just for hosting is nice, because then you can set, like if you're doing a dinner party, you need to set your table like at least the night before, because it's one less thing to worry about. Like you need to get everything done that you can
and
prior.
you get in the mood. I feel like the energy set when you sit at the table. But like you said, having a set of white dinner plates that then like whatever the theme is, you could add, like let's say it's like Christmas theme to make it easy. Like all you have to do is put a little like holly sprig on the white plate. Like the white is a nice base, but it's like a good plate that you don't just use in your everyday like eating omelets phase. It's like you bring them out for hosting. So having like a neutral option that you can add little like napkins or different color pops to, that's probably like a good place to start.
And then having good glasses, and then just adding ribbon to it, because ribbon's cheap and it's a good way to like personalize it, make it on theme. That works. But I would say my number one tip would be a theme. TikTok has amazing ideas. Like TikTok has great stuff. I have this dinner party that I've been wanting to do, this theme. Anyone can take it, like please do. That I've been wanting to do for the longest time. I read this book, 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand. It's like one of my favorite books. Okay. And in the book, she obviously lives on Nantucket, and she invites 4 women from different phases of her life to a weekend there. So that's 5 women, 4 from different phases of her life, right? 5 total. So 5-star weekend. But I want to do like a 5-star dinner party where I invite like 4 different women from 4 different parts of my life, and we all like get together. I just think it's cool because I'm inviting the same people all the time, and I want to branch out and do different things. Like obviously my priority are like my friends that I spend every second with. Yeah. But I think even things like that, if you're like getting more into it, it's so fun.
To really like, I mean, it's like all the funny movies that come out like about dinner party guests, like really like rich people like Great Gatsby and stuff. They had dinner parties where they would invite super interesting people to like switch it up from the regular like conversations they had in their like day-to-day dinner parties. That's so true. That'd be fun to like mix up the guest list, which can kind of be like a daunting thing. Like I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I can, because it really could, you know,
do you know that
something.
I think it's a European thing. I could be wrong, but I think this is European because I didn't really notice it until I started like dating James and like going to the UK, and like always his parents are like really big. They're amazing hosts, and they're really big in like dinner parties, and they're a very social group of people. So like they're always like, his mom's just a really great host. Like she has like a plate warmer, you know what I mean? Like she's like hosting, you know, she's got the timing down. I'm still working on that. I feel like I'll know I'm a real adult whenever I can cook a dinner for people and like everything will be timed perfectly.
I've gotten better at that in the past year, but that is actually so difficult.
It's the hardest part of doing dinners is the timing of it all. And if like moms that have figured that out, like you guys are momming to the mom's degree of moms, because like I'm always like, fuck, I did these are soggy because I did them too early. So like I need to really hone in on that. But anyways,
there's this brand called Host that's gonna save your life. It's HAUSTE. And they do like dinner party guides, and they'll do a menu, but they'll give you an entire planner for like all the days leading up. So you have like your grocery list, everything, like your menu, the actual schedule for the day. And then the best part is,
say it,
HAUSTE.
Okay.
The best part is that they tell you like for the menu exactly when to put what in the oven, when to cook things, so it's all right. It's all like perfect timing.
Kenzie, why didn't we think about that?
It's genius. No, I know. I'm like, wait, I should be doing something with a friend of mine for that. But
that's really smart. Wow, that's genius. That's a very difficult part. Okay, so but I think this is very European that I noticed whenever I went there. So they don't see, just talking about like having guests and stuff, you are not sat next to your significant other. You won't be, you wouldn't be. It's like weird if you are. If you like request it, people are like fucking weirdo. Like you do not. And it took like a little bit for me to get used to, because my mom and dad, they're like the cutest, like most in love little like spring breakers. They're so sweet, like always holding each other's hand. If you were to like separate, actually I had to, when they all came for Christmas, I had to tell his mom like my parents will sit next to each other. That's like their thing. Like they really like sitting, and they're not like they could go on their own. Like my mom and dad can hold their own. They're both very independent people, but they just like really love sitting next to each other. That's like their thing. Like it's just a customary thing. You sit next to your spouse. And I had to tell his mom like, by the way, my parents are going to sit next to each other. And she was like, oh, well, that's of course all right, but okay. Like you don't do it. And whenever I first started dating James, I thought they were doing it to like test me. I was like, oh, they're testing me. Oh, they're gonna try to see if I can like be like, you know,
I can
like,
hang.
Yeah, if I can hang. No. They just like do that because they want people to speak to one another. They like create seating charts like very intentionally. Like for something just like a Sunday dinner, like she'll be like, okay, James is sitting there, so-and-so sitting there, we'll put Bella next to this person because that person could talk to her about this, that's interesting. This person can't really talk that well, so we'll put them next to Will because he could talk to everyone. Like it's very intentional the way they seat people for something as simple as like a dinner, like a Sunday dinner.
I love that. See, when I do like a more like elaborate dinner party, I do that with the seating chart, and I try to split people up. But I always like here I'm like stressed out about it because I'm like, I know that they're gonna be like wanting to be with their friend.
Right. It's, or if you're hosting in our like line of work, like if you're hosting like a maybe like a get together with influencers that you know are all for, you know, who's friends.
Yes.
Like when I show up to a dinner that's like maybe an influencer dinner, I'm like, oh, me and Taylor are always like, do they sit us next to each other?
Same.
Are they gonna be like, of course we sat Taylor and Shannon next to each other, or are they gonna be like, oh, we don't need to sit Taylor and Shannon next to each other? And we would never move a place setting just because it's not us, but like we're always like, fuck, they didn't sit us next to each other. Like,
yeah, I feel that way too though. So it's like,
I'm like, we're just creatures of habits. We're Americans. We like things to stay the way that they are.
That's very true.
Stay this way. Okay, so that's a good tip.
If you've been living under a rock or not paying any attention to me and not following me, then you might not know, because I talk about it 24/7, how much I love First Leaf. Okay, First Leaf wine. I love this time of year, honestly. It's a time for renewal. For me, that means reconnecting with my friends, my family. I haven't seen them in a while. We love hosting. We love having people over. And when the weather starts getting warm, ooh, I want people in my house. I want people in my house. I want people having fun, drinking, being merry. I want all that. And when I do, I want to make sure that I have plenty of wine on hand for us to celebrate with. And that is why I love First Leaf. As America's most personalized wine company, First Leaf takes the worry and guesswork out of buying quality wines because I love good wine, but I don't know how to pick it, okay? I'm just not the best at that. There's too much work that goes into it. So to get started, you just answer some specific questions about your wine, likes, dislikes on First Leaf's website. You know, like I don't like too fruity of stuff, so I just like say no on the fruit. And it only takes 5 minutes to create your personalized wine profile. It's so quick, guys. And then your very own wine concierge will use your responses to curate a customized selection of delicious award-winning varieties from rosés to sparklings, everything in between, white, red, whatever you want, all based on your personal preferences, okay? These hand-selected wines will be delivered to your door. How convenient is that? There's nothing worse than needing wine and wanting someone to go out and grab some wine. That's just so frustrating. It'll be there within a few days with each bottle priced lower than what you would pay at a wine store. Now, you can find these same wines at a wine store, but the price is slashed. And you even get to choose when you receive your wine. Plus, every selection is backed by First Leaf's 100% satisfaction guarantee. And if you have any questions about your wines, like what to pair them with, for example, First Leaf's personal wine concierge team is there to offer expert advice. Like, it's so amazing. They're like, oh, you should eat this one with a fish. You should drink this one with meat. It's just so nice because then you feel really bougie and fancy when people come to your house and you're like, I want to open up this Sancerre to have a nice glass of Sancerre to have with some fish. Like all of a sudden people are like, wow, she is so smart. So let me tell you guys, I love having high quality wine for affordable, fun and easy moments with my friends and family. So I love reconnecting with my friends and families over bottles of First Leaf wine, and I bet you'll feel that way too. So give First Leaf a try. Head over to tryfirstleaf.com/probably to sign up and save 50%. That's so much. 50% on your first 6 hand-curated bottles plus free shipping. That's tryfirstleaf.com/probably to save 50% on your first 6 bottles plus free shipping. Tryfirstleaf.com/probably.
I need to talk to you about your brand, Friend of Mine, which is just incredible. When did it officially launch?
September.
You have crushed
No,
it.
thank you. It's actually crazy. Like
It's blowing. It's huge. If you would have told me 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh, because I got House Guest, the rebrand of your podcast, and Friend of Mine, I think confused. I'm like, you must have had this brand forever. Wow.
Well, so prior to that, I had another brand, and then the podcast was I Love You So Much, as it's the OG name for no rhyme or reason other than like Taylor O'Connor and I like couldn't come up with a better name when we like started the show. So I'd always wanted to change it, and I was like, if I don't change it now, I never will. And like it's already so established, like we've got to like make the move. But I felt like all of my things were also spread out, like and they weren't complementing each other.
You were very compartmentalized, and this made total sense. I don't think it wasn't a rebrand that made people go, huh? It was like, well, hasn't it always been called House Guest? Haven't we always been her house guest?
Exactly. So I needed that to happen. Thank you. And I needed it because I knew I was doing a home brand too. So like I needed it all to kind of come together. But Friend of Mine, it's really crazy. I'm like so happy. I am in shock. I realized the other day, I'm like, it's really only been 6 months.
You're crushing
It's wild.
Take me through the process of being an entrepreneur, starting your own thing. I know this is like actually your passion, so it's easy when you really truly believe in something to just like want to create like a monetary version of that, monetized version of that. I never use words right. Anyways,
Me neither.
Like what was that like to just like take that leap? Was it difficult coming up with like the products and the supplying? Did you like have any like failures, or is there anything you can suggest to someone that was like starting a brand on their own or wanting to get into something that they feel passionate about? Like, don't do this, do this.
So I got so lucky because I have so many friends around me that have businesses and have all of the connections and have like I always say it's all about your network.
It's true.
It really is.
It ain't what you know, it's who you know, baby.
It's so true. So I got really lucky in that sense. Like for example, the people that I work with did Laura Elizabeth's mood journals, and she's the one who just connected me with them.
Wait, can I tell you that I got this message on one of the questions that said, someone said, I really just have to get this off my chest. She goes, I just need to get this off my chest. I always get her and the one that quit podcasting confused. Not that it matters, but it really needs to be off my chest. And I'm like, the one that quit I'm like, Laura Elizabeth. Do you know that I almost quit my podcast because she did? Just because she really convinced me. I was like, we should quit. I should quit. I had a whole episode called Quitting is for Winners. And I was like, I should quit. I want to quit. Like, Lauren is such an influencer that she almost influenced me to quit my podcast. I was like, I should quit. Like, that is such a good idea.
There was a wave on YouTube where all of the like YouTube girls were quitting their 9-to-5s. And then like all their followers were quitting their 9-to-5s. So like, whoa.
All of a sudden we're like pulling up to like Amazon stops delivering our packages. Everyone's just sitting at home
literally.
here to talk.
But also I'm like, you guys don't have another job. Like it was like, you don't have like like money, like monetary, like they've got like money coming in. Like don't quit it without money coming in.
That is
like,
so funny. I always say
but that's literally Lauren with the podcast. Like she is influencing everyone to quit.
I say in my podcast, quit your job at Google and make soap, because I really do think you should like follow your dreams. Like if you have a job at Google that's making you millions of dollars, like who cares if your passion is making soap, fucking do it and make soap. Like do it scared, do it. But like we need to like make sure we have some things in line, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I'm definitely more of a risk taker. Like I would err on that. But
I like that they got you confused though, because that
no, by the way, I'm honored. And also that happens like probably more than you would think.
what's the Elizabeth of it all, I think.
Yes, and Lauren and I, like, especially before, like, my home taste was, like, so similar to Lauren's for so long. And Lauren and I are just similar. Like, I love her. We, like, talk all the time.
Yeah, you guys are genuinely good friends.
Yeah,
so
we're, like, actually really good friends. So, like, that, honestly,
Lauren.
thank you. I'm honored. One time, you know Scout and Maddie from OK Sis?
Yeah.
So, Scout, Maddie, Lauren, and I have been friends for probably 2 years at this point.
Okay.
And Scout, like, legitimately thought Lauren and I were sisters.
Really?
Maybe it wasn't 2 years, but it lasted a while.
Imagine how unoriginal your parents would have to be like, Kenzie Elizabeth and
Lauren Elizabeth. I think she thought Elizabeth was her last name.
Oh, okay,
That's
that
where
would
it
make
came
sense.
from. Like she really thought we were like sisters.
I could see the sister vibe as sistering.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm honored. Yeah, no, I love Lauren. I'm like obsessed. But she connected me with those people, and
That
that's
makes
who did the journal, and then they were able to do the cards. But I would say if you guys are looking, this is not an ad. I actually pay for these services. But if you guys are looking to start any sort of business and you're stuck on like manufacturing, fulfillment, design, all the things, Pietra, Pietra. I'm just now about to start using them, but it's just like an online platform to scale your business, but they connect you with all of it. Like it's all right
nice.
there.
And it's all vetted and like nice.
Yes, and it would have been nice to have when I started 6 months ago. So
I'm like, is this your sex tape moment? Are they actually like
No, I'm paying them a lot of money. Like that's the thing. I made a TikTok earlier too, and answering it, I'm like, it's so difficult because especially when like someone gives you a contact, that's not necessarily your contact to share.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, Pietra, like this is like, and it
I
gives
can
you more
share this.
options. It's way better.
It's so true, especially in like the world of like manufacturing and supply, and everything takes so long these days.
Yes.
That, like when someone gives you a contact, they are kind of like, don't share it because I don't want my shit to take too long because too many people started. And the supplier's like, share my name with everyone, and you're like, no. I get it. Okay, someone asked this question, which is like a good parlay off of like you being like you and Lauren Elizabeth have the same aesthetic kind of, and me just genuinely telling you that I tried to like emulate everything that she has going on in here in my podcast room. But someone said, how do you feel like you found your own style / aesthetic without feeling like you were copying everyone? And you and I had this conversation off the mic, and I felt like what we said was really good, but take it away, just how.
I think, okay,
It's a state of
without,
mind.
without feeling like I'm copying everyone or people are
Like
copying
they said,
me?
how do you like find your own style without feeling like you're just copying someone else?
The concept of anyone copying anyone just doesn't even cross my brain. I don't know if it's because I just think it's dumb and no one is original and everything's already been done before.
Right.
So it's just dumb to me.
I like what you said about your mom and Nancy Myers. Like, say that again because that's so true. You were like, even stuff that I got from my mom.
Yes, like even, and I also grew up with 8 siblings. So like, there's no,
Sorry,
you
I'm just, like,
copied
fully
me.
sitting
There's
like this
no,
now.
literally, there's no, like, we didn't, that's just like not how we grew up, you know?
Right.
But even things that I got from my mom, it's like my mom could have gotten that from like Ralph Lauren or Nancy Myers and my mom is a legitimate interior designer. So like, I just think I think it's like a dumb concept, but I think you have to just like what you like. I just recorded an entire solo on like finding your own personal style. I was talking about this on Homeworthy today, so I might sound like a broken record, but I really think, at least for me personally, and this might just be because I grew up in a family of interior designers, but like what my actual taste is and what I really, really like are things that I liked as a child before trends were influencing what I liked and like the world was telling you what to like.
Right.
Like I lived in overalls. I wore hats. I wore dresses and a hat every day. I wore cowboy boots. Like all of that stuff. My home, like if I were to show you like photos of like my childhood bedroom, it's really not that far off from my house.
Okay, nice.
So I think I just got lucky because I grew up with an interior design mom. But I also think you can draw a lot from like what you liked as a kid.
That's so funny. You definitely got lucky because like I would have like if I pulled inspiration from my childhood, it'd be like live, laugh, love. Or,
Yeah,
like,
okay,
we
so
grew up
that's
on
fair.
The lake and like everything has like a wave on it or a fish on it. Like,
Yeah. That's fair.
But it's nice. It's making your home feel like what comforts you. So if you drew comfort from like being at home with your family in Texas, then of course you should emulate that in your house now. And I think like if you drew comfort from like going on a vacation one time to the beach and you lived nowhere near the beach, you lived in the middle of nowhere in farmland, but like that always reminded you of like comfort and peace, then like make your house beachy, like do whatever brings you joy and comfort. And again, the concept that nothing we have thought of is an original thought. Like
Nothing.
there's nothing, and not to get like too deep where you like think of a word too long and then it doesn't look like the word anymore.
Yes.
But like if you actually really think about it, no one really, like even fucking Benjamin Franklin, like he wasn't the first person to think about electricity. He just fucking he executed it. Like he wasn't really the first person to think, I wish we had a fucking light in this bitch, you know what I mean? Like he just executed it. So I think like do what comes to your mind that you think it's the same we were talking about with like stand-up. I was like, I can't like watch too much stuff or like watch too many jokey jokes because I never want to feel like I'm copying someone. So I know anything that I say I wrote down came out of my brain, and if someone's like, you copied so and so, I'd be like, no I didn't, that came out of my brain. So like I did my own version of it, whatever. I know in my heart I'm not copying anyone. So just live your truth. Like you don't have to feel like you're copying someone just because you might see something, pull inspiration from it, and want that same feeling in your home.
And by the way, like copying someone on design is not, like on home design is not a bad thing. Like if you like something, you like it, do it, you know?
Yeah,
like
it's like clothes, like copy people's clothes, do whatever you want.
Like
wear what makes you feel hot, sexy, fun. And if someone's like, you're copying me, I'm like, sorry, I thought you were hot, sexy, fun, and I also wanted to feel hot, sexy, fun. What the fuck?
Yeah, this is like when influencers complain about people copying them, and I'm like, that's quite literally your job.
No,
that is literally your job.
Crazy.
It's insane.
I know some girls like that are like, she copied me. I'm like, that is tough sell. That's
no,
a tough sell.
It's really, really tough.
And you can tell they're like, it's fine though. I'm flattered, and I'm like, you're like twitching. It's the most sincere form of flattery. I'm like, you hate this.
It's like one of those things that I just like have absolutely zero like patience for, so I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. I kind of just stopped caring too. I used to really be like, oh shit, I don't want that person to think I'm copying them. But I saw the same ad she saw, and like, she just has a lot of money, so she probably got it before I did. But like, I don't want her to think I copied her. And then I was like, this is such a waste of time. This is such a waste of energy. Like, if I want to wear the feather top, I'll wear the fucking feather top.
Yeah.
That's crazy that I'm just like worried about someone thinking I'm copying them whenever like most likely she pulled inspiration from something else too.
Yeah.
We're all inspired.
Like that top is literally, there's Instagram ads running, and Instagram ads run like geographically. So everyone in that neighborhood got the same ad.
So true. Wait.
So just because you bought it first and it came in the mail first does not mean that this person copied you.
Do you know that I got a text? This is so funny. I got a text from a girl that's coming to my wedding as a guest, and I like put together a whole like wedding mood board, whatever. And she messaged me this picture of this dress, and she was like, hey, is this the vibe? I was thinking about ordering this for your wedding. And I was like, yes, it's perfect. She was like done. And I could tell it was a screenshot of like an ad. And I was like, it is perfect. Exactly what I was thinking. Love. Order it right now. Yes, slay. And it was a really nice dress. So she does that. And then she, I want to say like 2 days later, I get another text from another girlfriend from a like different area. She's like, hey, she was like, I was thinking, but still Nashville area. She's like, hey, love this dress. Was thinking, she didn't say your wedding, but she was like your wedding weekend. And I was like, ooh, so-and-so's actually just doing the same thing. She's getting it. So sorry, don't get it. Cause I think she already ordered it. She's like, okay. 3 days later, Taylor's at my house. She's on the couch. I'm getting a glass of water from the fridge. She's like, and this is so me and Taylor coded. She's on her phone. She goes with this. She goes, bitch, do I need to have this for your wedding? Do I have to wear this for your wedding? And she's holding her phone like this. Like I obviously can't see it. And I describe I go, is it and I describe the dress in detail. And she goes, what the fuck? How do you know that? And I pull up the 2 text messages, and she goes, damn. I was like, everyone must have been targeted for the same ad.
Everyone. And that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes, people.
And like, I don't know. I just think it's like don't worry about it. Don't stress out.
But you know what I think that we're just not saying? Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, actually,
shut the fuck up.
In long story short, shut the fuck up. That's exactly how I feel.
If we could say one thing about people that say other people copy them, shut the fuck up.
Crazy. And it's always like the least original people, by the way. It's always like they never have, it's so rare. There are few that have like original taste. But what's original taste at this point? Like everything has been done.
Have you seen the meme that's like people that like won't share their family recipes are really fucking weird? Because bitch, you are not like, your family is not profiting off of the paprika that your mom puts in the deviled eggs. That is not how you guys make your like money on your homestead.
It's weird. It really is weird to me.
It's like an inner struggle I think people must just have. I just don't feel that way. Like when people have the same things, I'm like, slay queen, slay.
No, same. I'm like, I will tell like the most random person, like friend of a friend of a friend, to like raid my closet for something, or like like I'm just not. But again, I think it's because I grew up with so many siblings. I just am not that way.
I did not like sharing clothes when I was in like college, when I like lived with girls, and my closet felt like I didn't have control over it. Like
you had less money too at the time.
True. And I just really felt like, oh, like I wanted to put a lock on my closet. Like I couldn't stand when my friends asked to borrow my clothes. Like you're all at that age where no one's really taking care of stuff that well, because you're all just getting shit house and like laying on bar floors and stuff. And I used to just think like, oh, like, please don't ask me to borrow this because I don't want to come up with some random weird reason that you can't borrow it. Like, if it was this really nice top that I knew a friend was coming over that would like always ask to borrow stuff, I'd like hide it and be like, I don't know where that is actually. I must be at the dry cleaner. Like, I don't fucking dry clean stuff. Now that I'm an adult, I beg people. My girlfriends that are coming to my bachelorette, a couple of them are coming to Nashville before we fly to the Bahamas. And I'm like, okay, you guys come a day early and don't buy anything for my bachelorette. Just raid my closet. I have so much stuff I could wear to my bachelorette. They're like, it's your bachelorette. I'm like, no, it's so fun. You guys wear my stuff. I have so many expensive outfits that I'm not going to wear my bachelorette that I've already worn. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's so fun to me now that I'm at this phase of my life where I like love it. Like brings me joy to like let my friends borrow things. And I'm like, slay queen. Look, you look so good in that. And they're like, but you don't mind if I wear it? I'm like, no, I love it.
Yes.
You just get to that point in life.
That makes sense in college, especially when people are like really not taking care of things at all. And then as you're an adult, people take care of things.
I think also in
that
college,
probably is it.
I was just like probably a lot more insecure in college, and like if I had a hot top, like I had to wear the hot top, you know? Like, it has to be me. So that's just probably like that's on growth. Okay. Yeah.
My favorite spring cleaning takeaway is that post-clean clarity that you get, okay? Like, wow, how have I been living like this? It's kind of like when you find out that you have been paying a fortune for wireless when Mint Mobile has phone plans for $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. Like, wow, how have I been affording this? Like, it's time to switch to Mint Mobile and get unlimited talk, text, and data for $15 a month. Now, the quality of Mint Mobile's wireless service in comparison to my old provider is just astronomical, you guys. I actually found out about Mint Mobile because that's what James uses. He's like, why are you not on this? And I was like, no, I like mine, old reliable. Yeah, no, old expensive is what I should have called it. So I am saving so much now with Mint Mobile and also having way more of a reliable service. So say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills and unexpected overages because that's how they get you. They get you with those overages. So Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans, starting at, like I said, I can't say it enough, $15 a month. And all plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. That's right, you're getting 5G, baby. Use your own phone. That's what I was stressed about. I was like, I don't want to switch my phone. I want to do the whole thing. I got my contacts, got my pictures. I like that. You could use your own phone. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan. Bring your phone number along with your existing contacts. It's no stress, no fuss, no muss. Ditch the overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's limited time deal. Get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. So to get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/probably. That's mintmobile.com/probably. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/probably. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower than 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Okay, so what do we got going on other than like your brand that's fucking crushing it? You have a card game.
Yeah, so there's like conversation cards in there.
Love.
So that's good for hosting, actually.
Fantastic. I was going to say, you not plugging. I'm like, what are some great tips? Me, I would have been like, buy this from me. Buy this from me. You're like, oh, really? Just get some plates from at home.
No, I mean, the dinner cards and nightcap cards, they're both really great. But I think conversation cards in general, obviously, I think those are the best.
Yeah.
Are great for hosting and just any sort of dinner. I mean, I always have them in my purse. We're playing them like literally everywhere we go. But they're great because especially if you hang out with the same 7 people all the time.
True.
Like, I'm so sick and tired of hearing about gossip from like fucking middle school. Like, I don't care about things that, like, you naturally, you're just going through a lot of the same conversations, even if you are like me and you don't shut the fuck up and you're talking about different things all the time. Like, you just naturally are going back to it and it gets boring. So it's good to have conversation cards because you get out of like the habit and the routine. Like we were talking about how earlier some people just get in like comfortable with their houses and like you don't notice, like you yourself don't notice what you should change in your house because you're so comfortable with it. And I feel like that's how we are in conversations with people that we're closest with, weirdly.
Right.
I have better conversations with people that I'm just getting to know, and I'll ask them the most random things that when you know someone you're just kind of like stagnant. You know what I mean?
That's so true. And I feel like, so that's also some, I bought those like some like dating cards. I don't know. We're not really strangers. I bought some of those for, and it's like love edition or whatever with your partner. And Serena Kerrigan had some great ones like let's fucking date, let's fucking fuck.
Those are great.
Amazing. Those conversation cards, game cards, whatever you want to call them. But like when you date someone for so long, maybe you've been married for 6-7 years, like you think like, I don't need conversation cards. I could think of everything, but it really does evoke things that maybe, yes, you've talked about, but not in a specific in-depth manner. Or maybe it's rephrased a question that you think you've talked to your partner about so many times, but it actually gives you an opportunity to talk about it in a different way, at a different angle. And I bought some just because I was like, whatever. And me and James played them and I was like, so obsessed. Like,
Yeah.
and I know James and I haven't been dating for 10 years, but like, it was one of those things where we would like, now we play it like once a week because we try to make dinner most nights at our house. And we love playing it. Like, really, it helps with your relationship. It could help with friendships just because like it teaches you more about the person and like their like, I don't know, like reactions to stuff. And it's just, it helps you be more communicative. Was creating the game hard, like to come up with all the different conversation starters?
No, because I like ask questions
Well,
for
shut
a
the fuck
living.
up.
You know what I mean? Like because of the podcast. Like
True.
it was actually pretty easy to do to like actually get the questions done. I thought it was gonna be way harder, but then I thought about it. I said that to my mom, and she's like, "Well, you literally do that for your job," and I was like, "That is such a good point, and that's why you are a mom and I'm not." You
so
know,
you're like, how did I even do this? I'm so incredible. Like,
no,
I
literally, like,
I
I'm
figured this out.
so talented.
She's like, babe, you literally do this for a
yeah,
living.
crazy. I have one more that we're releasing this year, and I just like went through and did the questions. I'm not kidding. It like so fast. Then I'll go through it. I come up with all the questions. I send them out to people. I have them play it with people, and then they tell me what hit, what didn't, and then I'll make it.
Oh my god, genius.
So it is like a process, but like
Wait, that's
it's
so
easier
smart.
because of the podcast.
Market research. Wow.
So much market research. Like honestly, just a business entrepreneur every
Business
single day.
entrepreneur.
Yes.
We don't want to talk about what we do for a living. Don't ask us. Don't tell us.
Yes,
We
don't
wanna
ask,
talk
don't
about
tell.
it.
But yes,
We don't wanna talk about it.
but I am an entrepreneur, so thank you. You know?
You are. When I wrote this whole new set for my new show and I performed it in Boston, Philly, and Pittsburgh. It's crazy because I've performed it for like my friends, and like my friends and I have the same sense of humor. So I like the jokes that I performed it for anyone who would listen, right? And they like certain parts just killed, and I'm like crush. I knew that joke would hit. And then like I performed it on stage, and in 3 separate cities, this one joke that I said, I was like, oh, wait. Oh, so you don't know till you know. Like you don't know till you test it out. And I guess that's just like life in general. If you're coming up with a product or you're just like coming up with like material in general, whether it's spoken, written, or whatever, like in physical or not. And I remember Courtney, finally I said to producer Courtney, I go, yeah, so that one part, I feel like maybe we could take that part out, right? And she was like, we could take it out. I just feel like, what do you think? And I was like, I think maybe no one laughed. And she was like, no one really laughed like we thought they'd laugh. But it's crazy because all my friends were like, and there's also just like certain cities that things hit and don't hit in. Like, so I did my show, that the one that I was always talking about you on, was more of like it was formed like a live podcast kind of format. And again, I messaged you were so helpful whenever I was like, so I'm doing a live podcast. Like, what should I do? You were so helpful. You and Gals on the Go basically were like, minute by minute, this is what we do. Like, y'all weren't like, but don't fucking copy us. You were like, here's what we do. Like, you know, format.
I was like, here's how I run a show. There you go.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you could have been like, you know, just like live, laugh, love, girl. You can figure it out. Like, you were so nice about that. But it's funny because different cities like that crush. Like we were talking about Dallas. Like Dallas crushed for me. Chicago, love my Chicago girlies.
Chicago, amazing.
There is truly like nothing like bad. I really love New York and I love LA. New York was just hard for me because I think I was nervous. Claudia was in the audience. It was my third show ever. I just felt like a lot more nervous and not ready. But by the time I got to my LA show, you guys, LA, the absolute gorgeous, stunning, amazing TK Juicy Pulls. We love her so much. Like Slay, such a good friend of both of ours. She was my guest on it. I've never had a guest actually on one of my shows before, and I had her come just being like, this will even more up the ante. This will be amazing. Like, you guys, it's so hard. Like, LA is just like a different breed. Like, LA was just like, we really don't care about you. Like, get off the stage. Like, everyone laughed, of course, and if you came to the LA show, you were amazing. But you know what? All the people that came to the show were like, we drove 2 hours to get here. I was like, no, dude, from LA. LA doesn't like me.
LA is not my audience. That was our smallest show, our worst show by far.
Really?
And like, oh my God, it was so.
You're making me feel better. Sorry, no offense.
It was so tough. Like, and if you were at the show, thank you for coming. Love you
Yeah,
so
no,
much,
I
whatever.
like, thanks for
But
coming,
like, it was first off, the venue that we did it at was different and weird, and it wasn't what I expected when I got there, and I was confused. We were like doing this new thing, trying it out, and it just like it wasn't it. So it made it difficult. Like, I want to be in like a theater vibe. I like where we're normally at. That was not what it was. And then like the crowd. Normally my crowds, they're like rowdy. They're drunk. They're getting kicked out for being too drunk. They're like having a girls' night. It's wild. Like, you don't need to be drunk, but they're like just like loud and rowdy.
We have the same audience.
We actually do, because and between us, we are the only two people who have had girls kicked out of their lives.
Yeah. I've had someone kicked out of my show. Like, I'm so sorry that you got kicked out. Like, babe, like, you're just a little overserved. It's not your fault. But like 100. And I was like, you know that scene, the concert where Taylor's like, hey, stop. She wasn't doing anything. She's fine. I'm like, I like felt that way, but I couldn't really say anything because I was, security's got to do what security's got to do. But like,
I never know till after. They tell me after because I can't see.
Oh, okay. People like come to my show and get like fucking rowdy, and I absolutely like beg them to. So
yeah, same.
LA was like, we are too cool to get rowdy at your show.
Yeah, it was just so weird. And honestly, I would have thought that every single person in that audience fucking hated me. I feel bad that that's like the show that like TK has seen of mine too, because I'm like, that is not a normal show.
TK was a part of my show, and when I came off, she was like, "That was great." I was like, "I hated it." She
No.
was like, "What? I thought you did so good." I was like, "Oh, TK,
It's so different. And then after, everyone was so nice and so kind and came up, and I was like, okay, so you guys didn't hate me, but it was just like,
they're a different breed, man.
it's a different breed, and it's a city that I won't be returning to for that. Like, I'm like, and also, by the way, that's like the consensus for most people in LA. I wish someone had told me that prior.
Right. Do you know how like everyone goes on The Bachelor and then moves to LA? Everyone goes on reality TV and moves to LA. Like, I definitely thought for a brief moment in time of my life, I was like, oh, I went on reality TV, I should probably like move to LA.
Yeah.
I really never thought I would survive there. Like, people mentioned it to me, like, would you ever move to LA? And I was like, oh, no. I would not. Like, I like where I'm at because people think I'm cool here. I could not move to LA. People would be like, ooh, fucking like dirt on the bottom of my shoe. Like, not to throw shade at LA goers, but whatever, I can, because the people that live in LA aren't even really from LA. Unless you're Katie Austin. And Katie Austin is the fucking exception to the rule. Love her.
Yeah,
Pretty sure
Katie
she's, like,
Austin
from California. Or maybe she's not.
She's not. She's from somewhere else.
Never mind. Yeah, fuck that. LA people, not nice.
Yeah, it's just not like, it just wasn't the vibe. And I realized then, because even normal jokes that would like hit or things that I would say, like everyone would like be in on it and get it. And I was like, okay, this is not the city for me. And that was a rude awakening for me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing feels worse than like being like, these are my girls, these are my people. And you're like, really putting yourself out there by being on stage and talking for an hour. Like, that's also just a fucking daunting task. And then like when you don't get that like feeling of like what's the word? Reciprocated feeling. You're just like, like, oh my God, I want to die. I want to crawl in a hole and die.
It was tough. It's just, it was not my city.
It's not my city either. LA, like, I love to visit you. Like, now when I go visit and like do little trips with like James, whatever, we're like, LA fun, the weather, it's amazing.
Yeah,
but
I'm
like,
going on Friday, and here's the thing. I lived there for 5 years.
You've been like, I'm going on Friday.
Well, no, but here's the thing. I don't like going to LA. Like, I'm very open about how I don't like Los Angeles.
I like visiting.
But I like it now because I have like an entire like social like group out there, and like a lot of like really good friends that weren't even friends of mine that lived in LA when I lived in LA. Like some of them have either moved or we got close after I moved. Right. So I have a whole like set of very good friends there that I really, really love. Yeah. So like I like going and seeing them, but
other than that,
I'm actually like this time I'm looking forward to it less, but because one of my best friends Keaton lives there now, so like I can stay with her and it's like fun, so it's a little bit better.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, before my dry eye, because the only thing about this surgery is that my eye really can't close yet. Again, I'm doing a solo episode where I'll talk all about it. The solo episode, the stitches will be out though, so get a good look at these stitches and sutures while you can, because I'll be a bit more post-op when the solo comes out. But there is a time limit on this because I really do need to put eye drops in, and we are going to record Kenzie Elizabeth's podcast. I literally thought I just said Lauren Elizabeth, so I like stopped myself.
No.
Yeah, not all of us being so confused.
I'm like Lauren Elizabeth Jr.
Lauren Elizabeth Jr., Senior, Junior. But before we do, I want to talk to you about gardening, because like you're such goals with that. I got I talked about this on my podcast. I got a like greenhouse that like the hyperponic things that like, no, you shouldn't be jealous because it like doesn't work. And everyone actually everyone's asking for an update. Like, it doesn't work. I already emailed the company being like, I know the 30 days are up, but like, this is bullshit. Your shit doesn't fucking work. And they were like, oh, you just have to take it apart and put it back together. It was like, it took me like 3 hours to put together because it's so many like pipes and tubes and cords and like all these water lines. And then once you set it up and put it together and insert the little like Y pods and stuff, like it grows itself. It has lights. It lights itself. It has to stay in a closet because it's so bright. James is like, this is crazy. It like has to stay in our pantry. But like, it is genuinely a piece of shit and it doesn't work.
I know what you're talking about. You got that tall white thing.
It does not fucking work. It does not work. But like,
I thought I was picturing something else. Okay.
You're like an actual gardener, and I want to talk about it because like you just like got into it, and then now you're just like slaying the house down boots with it. Like, what is it, therapy for you? Like, what is it like?
It's very therapeutic for me.
Okay.
So I had a little garden when I had my townhouse on my rooftop, and that was like, I moved here a year ago.
And like very Kenzie coded to have like a little garden.
And then I just like two things about me. I can't shut the fuck up, and I can't like not go all out with every single thing. Like, I'm so extreme, and it's like the best and the worst thing about me. Like, it would be so nice if I could just be normal and like something just like a little bit. No, it has to be my entire personality.
No, it's so me coded. It's crazy. James will be like, what if we just did like a little version of what you want to do? And I'm like, we can't do it to that. We have the hydroponic thing. James is like, why don't we get one of those little ones that sits on the counter? And I was like, no, I have to buy the $900 one that feeds itself and grows us cabbage, kale, peppers, jalapenos, blah, blah, blah.
I'm actually glad that I got that review from you though, because I did
want that
review.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's
Garden,
tough.
GARDYN. Do not buy it. But their customer service is nice because
first name, last name.
First name, last name. Name them.
Name 'em.
Name them. No, but you know
Name
what?
'em.
Their customer service is great because I was like, it's fucking broken. And they were like, oh, just take it apart and put it back together. I was like, I'm not doing that. And I'm outside of the return window. And so like, what are we going to do about this? He's like, you can return it. It's okay. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay, good.
That's nice.
That was nice of them.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah, so I just got really into it. And then I mean, a lot happened. Like, my grandma got into it. I started following these Dallas garden influencers. And this was when I was like, honestly, I had to fill my time because I wasn't taking Jell-O shots every day at the bars.
So true.
As I was maturing, I was like, well, what do I do now? And then gardening felt very obvious. And then I got really into it, and it became something that like my grandma and I do together too. So that's sweet. I watched a bunch of like master classes, Martha Stewart's master class. Like, it felt like I was looking at my future. Like, it was
you're so into it.
No, it was like a spiritual experience, me watching the Martha Stewart master class. Like, I literally like my editor was in town and we watched it together, and I like there was just something that happened. It was like what I would like like, did you grow up like going to like church camps? Or like any of that?
I went to YMCA many times, but then I like went to an actual church camp once.
Okay, so like, you know, like
in like North Carolina.
When you have any sort of like spiritual experience and you're like,
yeah.
I have this new like vision of life, and I had this, that is what I felt like. It felt like I was at youth camp.
But you held on to it because like you go to youth camp and then you leave
they
and
die
then, like,
off. Yeah, totally. No, this is like a lifelong commitment. Yeah. So very long-winded way of saying, I don't know, I just kind of got really into it. And then when I bought this house, I knew I wanted garden space, so that was like another thing that I was doing. And then my grandma, I have helped with her, and then we were planning it all. And then I bought there's this like Dallas garden school like influencer that I'm obsessed with, and she sells classes.
Oh my
I bought classes and I was watching them. I haven't watched them all. I got a garden planner. Like, yeah, I just took it very seriously. I started from seed. Yeah.
Wow, I'm very impressed.
I just got really into it though.
Do you make sourdough?
No, but here's the thing. I've had sourdough starter. It's the craziest thing about me, you would think.
Yeah, because
right?
you kind of skip the gateway drug. Everyone says sourdough is the gateway.
But I like needlepoint. I do everything. Like, I garden. You would think that, I don't know. But I do have sourdough starter. My main issue was that, like, between my grandma hobbies, like, I don't have much time. You know?
No. Sourdough would really eat up into like the only time you have to be youthful.
Yes.
I don't think we would.
How am I ever gonna date if I start making sourdough?
No, you could be like Monica from Friends, and you could just like find yourself a nice 55-year-old dentist that's like really happy.
That's kind of like where I'm heading,
vibe.
I think. Yeah,
That's
like
the vibe.
that's probably where I'm heading. But I do want to do it. The reason I haven't is because I needed to be home for a longer consecutive period of time, and I haven't been since I got the starter. It is definitely like on the docket. Like, I will do it, and I love sourdough, but I also go to the farmer's market like every Saturday.
It's nice that you have that. We have in Franklin. We can buy fresh sourdough from like a lot of places nearby.
Yeah,
so,
and
like,
I like to support the economy and local businesses.
Yeah, no, we just really want to. We can't make our own bread. We've got to support the local economy.
I'm a citizen of USA.
USA, baby.
Exactly.
And on that note, I've got to put eye drops in. Kenzie, thank you so much for having me as your house guest. You guys listen to her podcast. It's just as unhinged, funny, and hilarious. She has like a reoccurring guest that her best friend. I actually have so many messages that are like, Macy, bring Macy on. We're like, sorry, Macy, this was so last minute. We didn't have time to bring her in. But she has an incredible podcast that I'm a listener of. I love. We can't leave without saying this. In my episode, not my episode, but in my live shows, if you ever came to one of my live shows, so I did like 25 of the live shows the way that they were formatted as like a podcast live, right? And then, now I've told you guys the new material is just kind of like an hour and 10 of me like telling silly, funny, goofy jokes, okay? But there was like this line that I would say in all of the podcasts, and it would be like a segue for me, and it was to talk about how the very first live show I ever did was a part of Kenzie Elizabeth, and then I would always say, like, it was me always wanting to brag about you, but also it was just a really important part of this show because in my mind I needed it to remember my next part. And so it was the same thing every time, but every single time I would go on for probably about 25 to 30 seconds about how amazing you are, how you had me on your podcast live, how I drank too much tequila, I got blackout, like, but how I'm so inspired by you. I'd be like, she's incredible. She has a podcast called House Guest. Listen to it. She's fabulous. And then I would like sometimes even ask, God, does anyone know Kenzie Elizabeth? Like, and almost always, because I do think we have a lot of crossover, the crowd would be like, woo! Like, really just, sorry, Fitz, just no big woo for you. But like, it was always, the point I'm making is I really like went in on Kenzie Elizabeth fan. You know what I mean? I'm like, love her. She's amazing. She's the best, blah, 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 blah.
For like a good chunk of time.
For like 25 to 30 seconds, just really talking about Kenzie Elizabeth. I did it every show. Again, not that I didn't want to do that, but it was a very important segue for me in my show. Okay. So I never didn't do it because I had to say it. One day I get a text from Kenzie, and I think maybe I had told, after like one of my first or second live shows, I had said to you like, I think I sent you a text being like, thank you again for helping me out with like the formatting of it all. I really appreciate that. You were so helpful. Like I talked about you in my podcast on the live show, but you probably thought it was a one-off.
No, I did think it was a one-off.
You probably didn't think I'm like the creep that just brings it up in every city.
It's so nice. By the way, love it. Good things about me. Like I'm all about it. Love it.
So I get a text from Kenzie that's like, hey, you have to say.
So I wish that I had the text, but I won't. I get a text. This is like from one of the shows I couldn't be at. It was a different city.
Yeah, it was not even in Texas, which is crazy.
Yeah. So I get a text from a friend who was at the show. And I guess one of my ex-boyfriend's like new girlfriends was there. And this girl like hates me for literally no reason. Like
don't they always?
I don't care. Like I was just like stupid. And she was in the audience. As she's like actively doing things to like I haven't even talked to this guy. Like it did not matter.
Just like drama.
No one cared. It was like weird. But she's sitting in the audience as you're saying this, and my friend is just like watching her. And, like she's with the group of her friends, so it's like I'm sure they all hate me, and they're all like, "Oh fuck this bitch," like whatever. And Shannon's up on stage like, "Woo! I love Kenzie."
Who knows Kenzie Elizabeth? I'm like house guest. Listen to it. I'm like literally like if you don't know her, you're a fucking loser. Yeah. I'm like you need to listen to her. She inspired me. I'm up here on this stage right now because of her. I'm not kidding. That's what I say at all my shows. I'd be like, I only just did this because I was inspired by Kenzie to do this, like full on. And Kenzie's like, Shannon, I need you to know. And when she texted me that, I was like, by the way, I say that at every show. She's like, you do? I was like, yes. I go, it's a segue. I have to kind of, but like also it's, I love you, but like I have to. But she goes, Shannon, I need you to know that like, just picture your ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend that hates you for no reason, just having to listen to someone just talk about how great you are for 30 seconds. She was like, I can't thank you enough.
I said truly, like, I'll never have the words. Like, I'll never have the words. And it's just a really good example of, like, when someone really fucking hates your guts, just let things play out.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut. Who cares?
Keep your mouth shut.
Shannon Ford will go on stage and talk about you for 30 seconds how you're the greatest person that's ever walked this earth.
It's so true. You know what? Life has a funny way of giving back to those who just shut the fuck up. And you and I, we don't do a good job at shutting the fuck up.
We rarely do.
But the times we need to shut the fuck up, good things happen.
It's so true. But thank you for that again. Seriously, that is
no
such
problem.
a good memory.
I did it in 25 cities. It's not a part of my show anymore, but maybe I'll bring it back.
No, like I need to like do something funny so I can like make it into
I'll bring it back. I love you so much. Thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Again, I do have to put eye drops in. I'll give you the whole Bleph story. I know everyone's like, what the fuck? We want to know about your stitches, you creepy looking Sally the night before Christmas with the red hair. I kind of am giving like Nightmare Before Christmas Sally, but like I just like you guys, I will do a whole, I love to milk something. So I've been on vacation kind of like, this has been like the easiest surgery ever. I've never even had surgery other than my appendix, but it's just been smooth sailing. So I can't wait. I deserved that, by the way, from all my fucking trauma.
Yeah.
So keeping it breezy. I'll have new eyelids. I'll be like so fucking gorgeous. You won't even be able to look at the screen next time you see me. So love ya. Bye.
Bye.